past week, but she passed away. George just texted me.
Oh,
man.
Oh, wow.
So in
So sad.
surgery?
No, she got through surgery, but while she was at the hospital, Methodist in San Antonio, she had a massive heart attack, and anyway, a lot happened in the last week, but she never was able to overcome it. So.
Oh. Hmm.
Oh my gosh. Poor George and her family.
Yeah, that is so sad.
That's terrible.
It is.
Okay, go ahead, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, we're going to reconvene open session. Is that where we're at?
Yes, sir. And we'll take a little break if we can.
And let's take a 5-minute break.
All right.
You wouldn't think that you'd get that stove up after sitting for 2 hours.
I know, I'm blocked up. Yeah, you can get out through the middle.
Chief, don't steal my cup. Dan, don't
Oh, look at that orange
Don't
cup.
take it. Don't take it.
Got one just like it. You do?
Probably have your own. Probably have your own. Oh, Washington.
Yes, between Beach Mart and the hotel, yes, it's I believe 10 acres.
Okay. Do you have any, I got a little drone, can I fly my drone over?
Absolutely. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Oh, all the way into the left of the sink, Wendy.
Well, I thought.
You look something, there's supposedly, you look something, there's supposedly a old chimney or something out there somewhere, like some early cabinet. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome to.
We about ready?
Even if you did also
We're waiting on Shannon.
Yeah, like these?
because they got breathing holes, but it's hot. They're
Yeah.
all hot, all masks are hot.
I will tell you
mean,
what-
but
what-
these are pretty good.
These are nice. We got these when I went to the Gatlinburg show. It was cold.
Oh,
And-
palladiums are like that.
And it's that jersey material.
Mhm.
So when wind's blowing, you put it over your face and it like keeps your face warm, but it's hard to talk to. So for the meeting, I went with this one.
You want some candy day?
I went home for lunch the other day and I had made a really good batch of beef stew. So I go home, I'm wolfing down my beef stew. I come back to work and I'm going to a meeting and I'm like,
Smell like beef stew.
oh my God, what's going on here? And I was like, oh my gosh, a huge glob of beef stew falling in my.
I'll tell you, the best thing to do is wear your mask and go to a barbecue joint and then like take it off and put it on like the next day, just go like a quick whiff of it because you smell just like the barbecue, that smoky goodness.
What barbecue?
Well, any barbecue really, any place where they're smoking some good wood, but
Oh, Shannon's locked out.
So Beth, are you there?
Wait, unmute. I'm here.
I was saying, I was at Mac Daddy's today. It looks really nice. Your new division. Are you doing the outside seating because of the COVID or just for more seating?
No, mostly because of COVID, because everybody really likes, obviously, to be outside more. And on that side of the restaurant is always shaded. It's always has a good breeze. So we're super excited, but we're really not changing the seating in the sense of, I mean, yes, we're adding some, but it's more so to spread out more in the dining room, but to have we get way more requests now sitting outside, obviously.
No, it looked nice. I went there for lunch today. It looked nice.
Lunch. I know. I can't believe I didn't see you at Myrtle Beach. I saw your brother, Rob.
Yeah.
Said that.
Brother.
All right, Mayor, we're ready.
Okay,
Yeah, you're funny, Beth.
okay, well,
Let's make this.
reconvene open session. Should we take any action on the closed executive session?
No, sir, you can go right to E.
Okay. The resolution is authorizing and approving publications of notice of intention to issue certificate of obligations, complying with the requirements contained in Securities and Exchange Commission Rule 15C2-12 and providing for the effective date.
And that's with the updated amount. So if we could get a
Do we
motion on that.
Do we need to make a motion with the updated amount?
No, just
Or
the updated resolution.
I make a motion that we approve the, what do we call it? Notice of intent with the updated amount as stated.
There is a second.
I'll second.
Call the row.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Holt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Member Solomon,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Bouillon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay.
Is Rick back with us?
No. He needs to be though.
He is here.
I'm here.
All
Oh,
right.
There you are. You were on the screen.
all right. We ready to go?
We're ready.
We need to, I guess we're on E. Is that where we're at?
You're on F.
Mayor.
Yeah. Okay. The alternative parking plan. Approval of a request submitted by the McDaddy family kitchen, 118 Beach Street, to allow for the reconfiguration of parking. Rick, you want to go on that?
Yes, sir. I imagine some of you have heard of this place, Mac Daddy's. Bruce, most recently, if none others have noticed, they've done a really beautiful deck addition to the restaurant. and are proposing to add some additional restaurant seats, which prompts the need for additional parking. So as the agenda item lays out pretty well, the Owens own the property next door that's referred to as the annex, which is kind of a commissary, I guess, business office. Beth, is that a pretty accurate kind of explanation of the property next door?
Yes, that's where our offices are for all the businesses.
Right. But that current site only requires by ordinance 3 parking spaces, and they have 13. So, what the proposal is here is that those space, and again, we because it's the same ownership, we just probably require some kind of written acknowledgement, but offering those 10 spots up, the additional 10 spots they have to give to Mac Daddy's. And then also what you see being proposed is the use of 8 additional golf cart spots, which if the golf carts or the use of the golf carts are approved, which we do have several precedents of, that would give a total of 44 spaces, which is 3 more than what's needed. And the diagram that Fran has up there kind of explains that. So that's basically it. This is just falling under our alternative parking plan ordinance, to facilitate a creative alternative to what's always a challenge, which is parking when somebody wants to expand. But this is a pretty, from staff's perspective, this is pretty straightforward, and we think certainly appropriate, very consistent with what we've done with some other properties, and would accommodate their request to expand that seating, primarily for that new outdoor deck.
Questions?
Motion to approve.
Here a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, you got your second? Let me just add in there during the discussion. If approved, we do require, and I don't know that it does or doesn't need to be part of the motion, it's required that the golf cart spaces, if you approve this, we do have those be signed specifically for use as golf carts so that it is identified. And I apologize, I didn't mention that earlier.
But that's already part of the ordinance, correct?
It's not, because the alternative parking plan is a pretty broad stroke. It gives you guys a lot of flexibility. So I apologize that I didn't mention that. Just if you allow the use of golf carts, we want that to be signed for that exclusive use.
I think that should be part of golf cart ordinances if you're using things marked as such. But I amend my motion to require signage for golf cart parking spots.
Thank you.
And I second the
Call
amendment.
roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Holbein,
Yes.
Councilmember Holt,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
I'm going to say the word the right time. Right. This time is abstain.
Mayor Bouillon.
Abstain?
Yes.
Motion carried.
What did she say last time?
Sustain.
She's
That's
going to
called
sustain it.
Bethlish.
We understood.
Sustain it.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
All right, item G, Mayor.
Discuss and take action to appoint members to the Charter Review Commission.
I nominate Michelle Lorette.
I'll,
Second.
yeah.
Wait, pull it up a little more. Fran? Okay.
This way?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So this is for open position number 5.
Yes, sir.
And Michelle was the only one that applied?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I hear a motion.
I already have a motion, a second.
Hey, let's call the roll.
Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Holt,
Yes.
Councilmember Salamine,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Mayor Bouillon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. IH is a resolution accepting the Paradise Point Homeowners Association, HOA, petition requesting city traffic law enforcement, authorizing the Port Aransas Police Department to enforce traffic legislation or regulations in the Paradise Point private subdivision and roads, setting relationship, responsibilities of each entity, term, and miscellaneous provisions. Rick?
Chief, are you here?
Yes. I have a question for you when you.
I can tackle it, or Chief. This is really kind of probably Chief's.
So, Chief, I have a new question. This is Bruce. So I know that we just passed the ordinance, and I'm assuming that they probably were pushing for this. Were they having a problem with people speeding through their subdivision, or?
I think it's mostly for golf cart and parking enforcement, and I think we'll probably see 2 or 3 more of these in the next couple months. None of those ordinances have been passed. There's a couple private subdivisions in town that have been requesting assistance, mostly with golf cart and parking enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have had Palmia reach out already, so I think Palmia will probably want
to. I think we'll probably hear something from Cinnamon Shores and Beachgate or Beach Walk also.
Okay. Sure. Now, how are we supposed to enforce it if they're behind a closed gate? I know beach.
It's a little provision in the transportation code. It's kind of hidden back in there, but it allows private subdivisions to petition a municipality.
I understand that. I just basically, but so I guess
They don't have a gate.
Beach Walk has a gate.
No.
Oh, no, they don't, but he said.
Paradise Point does.
Okay. Okay. I was just.
Code enforcement and PD have the gate codes, Bruce.
Okay.
And we have codes to all the gates.
Okay. Well, I figured as much. You have to for fire.
How many codes you want?
Yeah.
Well, I have a clicker.
Clickers go. I was just curious if there was a for a purpose or an issue.
They think so.
Well, apparently.
You're gonna need more cops.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, thank you. Rick, any reason not to? We're not accepting ownership of the roads via the city.
No, not at all. Maybe
Doesn't-
we'll generate a little citation revenue. I don't
Although
know.
those are easy, concrete streets don't usually need repair, so.
Yeah, but
For 30 years.
for 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motion to approve.
Second.
Call the roll.
Councilmember Salamine,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Holt,
yes,
Mayor Bouillon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item I is a resolution amending Resolution 2020 R65 for the purchase of a radio system equipment or of radio system equipment from Daily Wells Communications for the Police Department radio system upgrade, authorizing the change of the approved amount of $169,192.93 to $358,028.44 for phase 1 of the radio system upgrade project. Funding from the General Fund 05 Police Department Capital Outlay, account number 59300, and authorizing the city manager to act as the executive officer and authorized representative of the city in all matters pertaining to said purchase. Rick?
Darla, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
You want to do the lead in on this one?
Yeah, let me unmute. This is the amount that we budgeted. We actually budgeted over 300,000 for this year. This is just the first part of the radio system. There will still be more monies due next year, but this does get us started with the required switchover of the radio system, which Chief can go in more detail if he needs to.
Well, just it was this is money we had budgeted. We just put the wrong amount in the resolution. Is that correct?
Correct. The resolution should have been for 358 versus 169. But it is budgeted, enough is budgeted for that.
And we'll be back in, there's another payment due in May, and we'll be back in May for this.
We're not made of money. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Second. Call the roll.
Councilmember Holt,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore,
Yes.
Member Crawford,
Yes.
Councilmember Salamine,
Yes.
Councilmember Clark,
Yes.
Councilmember Owens,
Yes.
Mayor Bouillon.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 10 is the city manager report. David? Presentation, general discussion on 87th legislative.
Got me sleeping.
Huh?
Okay, let me grab my TWIA notes. Okay, so TWIA, couple things happened in the last week. On December 2nd, TWIA had a meeting where they didn't vote. They accepted a report that they said was incomplete, and then they pushed their vote to December 8th. However, at the December 8th meeting, they had nothing on their agenda that indicated that they were going to vote and take action. It was just strictly a report being submitted. And after they came out of accepting the report, they took a vote and did a 5% rate increase.
With Georgia Nedlett, the only dissenting.
She was the only dissenting vote. Even the coastal guy from, I believe he's Brownsville, or voted yes, but I think he's an insurance guy. So the next step, we met with Todd again on Tuesday. We had another call, and the next step is they're gonna basically take it to the governor. And then, of course, it's going to end up in the legislative session. So we got a big fight ahead of us. We think we can be successful. There's already been a couple bills passed, throwing some rocks, getting our point across. They're going to attempt to move TWIA back to the coast instead of letting them reside in Austin. And then there's, of course, probably legislation to just disband them altogether. But so it's going to be an interesting legislative session in regards to TWIA and wind insurance reform. It's going to be a long 5 months. So, so more on that to come.
I'm sorry.
I hear music.
Okay, and let me continue with legislative updates. I sent you guys a link today, and it's a really interesting web page, and it's put out by TML. And if you go to that web page, you can just look for this document right here, city related bills filed. And that's, they update it about every 3 days, because typically in a session, you have a couple thousand bills entered. So this is 64 pages worth, and this is just stuff for cities. So this is
terrible to read.
It's a good read. Not all of them are anti-city, but you just gotta I would advise you guys go through it, look at it. It's changing every couple days, there's another 50 introduced or so, and that's going to continue for the next month and a half. You know, people can keep submitting these bills, and of course, these bills are all submitted. They're either on the House side, and there'll be a HB bill, or they're on the Senate side, and there'll be a Senate bill. Typically, most of them start out as House bills, and then they look for someone to carry it on the Senate side. So most of these are all going to be House bills. And if you look at these, it's going to cover the ones that are the city related, and you guys might want to go look at the other ones, but these are going to be related to, there's 10 main categories. Property tax is a big one. So it's a whole bunch of stuff of, you know, how to drop property tax. You'll see how, you know, I mean, you just look at this, and there's probably four pages of things that are going after school property taxes, appraisal caps, property tax exemptions, disabled veteran exemptions, sales price disclosure. It goes on and on and on. And you really, unfortunately, you got to read through these to see if or what they're going to have any effect on the city. A lot of them don't. Some of them do. And you got to take into account that a lot of these are going to just be thrown by the wayside, and they won't amount to anything. Others will keep going along and gain some momentum, and whether or not they have a negative impact for the city or positive, we just got to wait and see. So there's a lot on property tax. Public safety, there's a lot on public safety this year. You have a lot of police reform with all the stuff going on nationwide. So some of the bigger city ones are submitting a lot of police reform. Sales tax, community and economic development, that's going to be your stuff, maybe going after your building departments, some of your zoning. One thing we're watching closely, and we haven't seen it yet, but are going to be the ordinances going after your R1 subdivisions. In other words, these Airbnbs are attempting to, you know, try to get states to say that a city should not have any regulatory authority to state the duration that someone can use their home. So in other words, what these bills are saying is that if you have a residence and it's being used as a residence, then a city should not be able to dictate whether it's a one-day rental, a 30-day rental, or a 1-year rental.
Basically,
so in other words,
converting R1 to R2.
Yeah, you're basically eliminating in our instance, it would be eliminating the city's ability to have a R1 zoning district. So that's a big one. That one's come up in the last 2 sessions. Mm-hmm. And although it's not in this list right now, we think it's definitely coming. It passed either last year or the year before in Arizona. So basically they eliminated R1 zoning in Arizona statewide, causing a lot of issues in some of these, you know, and basically any subdivision, whether it's nice or old and small or large, you can protect yourself if you have a current HOA that's in place and still active. A lot of HOAs, after they hit a certain age, they expire. And once they expire, they're real hard to try to fire them back up because.
And if it's in your deed restrictions and your covenants, then you can protect yourself as well if it's worded properly. If it's
worded properly, yeah. And it was challenged up in San Antonio a couple of years ago in a big lawsuit where HOA, the wording was a little bit off and it wasn't as strong as it needed to be. And I think they found in favor of the guy who wanted to rent his unit short term. So that's a big one. That's community and economic development. Of course, there's a ton of stuff on elections this year. You know, all kinds of goodies trying to loosen elections up, trying to tighten them up, saying where you can do them, where you can, write-in votes, or, you know, all that stuff is that's going to be a battle. Emergency management, you know, post Harvey, there's some stuff in there, but that was mostly in 2019. Municipal courts, open government, finance and admin, personnel, purchasing, transportation, utilities, and the environment. So really go on here when you get a chance. It's really interesting. but that webpage that I sent you, unfortunately, I wish they had like a top 10 worst city ones, but they don't. You really kind of got to go through here and really just peruse all of them and see which ones are going to hurt us or not. As I find them, I'll definitely keep updating you guys on that. But that's a good one. Then the other thing is also on that website are going to be the protocols that are going to be taking place at the Capitol. So typically, the mayor and I, in years past, we've had a couple big city issues, and we've gone up a whole bunch. We try to get other members to go up as they can. This year, we're going to be mostly on the defensive side. We don't have a really big offensive lift we're going after. So the new protocols are still in the works. It's going to be a little bit tighter going in and out of screening. So there are going to be some limitations. But I think they're going to do their best to. It is the state of Texas. And I think the last thing what they want to do is go to like a 100% virtual, off-site Zooming type thing. I think it'd be really rough. So they're going to make the attempt to make in person as much as possible as they can. So more on that to come. The legislative issue with the port, the cities. This was probably about 2 weeks ago, maybe. There was a city manager and city mayor meeting over in Portland. The port came and gave a presentation on their legislative proposal. Then they left. They got beat up pretty hard about it. The vast majority, if not almost all of them, don't want the legislation to go through. So right now it's most likely dead in the water. We don't know. I don't know if they're going to attempt to just maybe do it in selective areas. Now, so the odd thing with us is what they're trying to do is have the ability to do things other than things other than industrial. We're excluded for the sole purpose because we already allow all those things on Harbor Island. So if you look at our Harbor Island zoning, you can, let me grab it real quick. We already allow what they're seeking permission to be able to do with the state. So if you look at our Harbor Island zoning, and I'll read it off real quick. So any lawful, excuse me, I stand corrected. Any lawful non-dwelling, non-residential use. So aside from the retail, or excuse me, aside from the residential, other uses are already permissible. So any use in a TR3, commercial 1 or commercial 2, so all your retail, a marina, a restaurant, a gas station, anything like that, which is some of the stuff they're attempting to try to get permission to do, is already permissible on Harbor Island minus residential stuff. So.
But I thought it was without any kind of oversight by the city.
No, that's not true.
Well, I did.
That's what Facebook was saying, Joan, but that's not at all true. Is from what the port said, or how it would be written. Number one, they haven't even drafted their full version of the ordinance, but they did not indicate that was their purpose. That was an assumption made by a lot of cities.
Well, I did hear, and again, this is probably the same thing. They were trying to eminent domain property on the north side of Aransas Pass, where the old carbon black plant was. But I don't know if that's related or something. Probably.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, they have not submitted any legislation that we're aware of. So right now, it's not on anyone's radar. Don't know if it's going, if they'll still attempt to move forward or not. Plus, you got changes in Corpus, so got a new mayor in Corpus. So I'm not sure
who won it, and I know
Paulette.
Okay.
So I'll keep you guys updated on legislative issues moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the link. I didn't get a chance to read it today.
All right. There you go, friend. All right. Staff reports.
So you have your written finance packet in your financial report in your packet for the first time in a few months. I actually got it out on time. I'm very happy about that. First 2 months, we're doing really well in the year. Occupancy tax is up 92% for the month of October for what we collected in November. We're up 119% compared to last fiscal year. Sales tax is also doing good for the first couple of months. We're up 32.5% compared to last year. I know everybody got the email that we got the $4 million for the marina. So that was good that we got that from FEMA. So we've got that cash now. And the harbor rentals, I finally got last year's updated, and you can see that we were up quite substantially compared to the prior year. In our quarterly rentals, we had 747,000, where the prior year was 517. So it's definitely made some improvements since we've gotten it repaired. And our beach parking permits, we may not have them. We're going to have them for sale at City Hall, but the printer did not print I didn't put the permits in little packaging or all together. So each individual permit is all loose. And I don't think that would be a good idea for Stripes or IGA or any of the stores to get yet. So we're going to have them for sale at City Hall starting now, but they're reprinting them and should be ready 1st of January. And our golf cart should be here ready for sale the Monday after Christmas, next Monday. No, I'm sorry, Monday week. So if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Any other questions?
Good job, Darla. Thank you.
Good job, Darla. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay. Police report, Scott.
Our fall activity continues to be very manageable. We're fortunately we've extended a job offer to a young man that started our field training program last week. He comes to us from the Hays County Sheriff's Office, and we have another job offer pending for an officer from the Oregon Police Department who's decided he's had enough of Portland and come down here and hopefully he's got to take his state licensing exam in January, so his job offers continue to pass that licensing exam.
Scott, excuse me a minute. Francisca, could you pull that agenda report item up?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Have you had a problem recruiting people? I mean, it seems like for a lot of big cities have been trying to get rid of their police, and it seems like a lot of them would be having to move to smaller towns.
Yes, I think we've gone through 6 hiring cycles in the past year, and we've made 2 job offers. So.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just we're just better to hire the right people up front than try to.
I agree.
Try to deal with them. So it's been an arduous process, and it's not helped with the fact I've got 2 officers that are out with off-duty injuries also. So we're running a little thin, but we've been working on. Don't know if you all got any calls or not. We've been working the 361 highway pretty heavy during the rush hours, and actually combined with the Corpus Christi Police Department, and we're working in joint operations. So they're out there the same time we are. So.
What time is that? So I know I have to be there.
Well, it's helped a lot. I know Corpus wrote the other day. They wrote 25 citations, and we wrote 5 in the same period, and all 5 of ours were going out of town. So,
Well, I saw a lot of them working around the Packery Channel area, so I have seen them on the side of the road there.
so we're
Between
trying to
7:30 and 8.
that left or that center turn lane.
Night or morning?
Both rush hour.
Rush hour.
Morning.
And then the most significant event, we had a 30-kilo bundle of cocaine washed up on the beach.
Crazy.
Wow.
Back in on the 13th, and pretty significant amount of cocaine.
Yep.
So
Was that the biggest one in Port A history?
it's the biggest one I've seen, and Kelly Henson's actually the one that took the case, and he's been here, 10 years longer than me, and he said that was the biggest one he saw. So
Where do
as
we
far
have
as
it
we know,
stored?
it's pretty large.
What do you do with that?
Where do we have it stored?
Yeah.
I wanted to get a Super Trooper picture,
Yeah,
but they wouldn't let me.
I'll get with you offline on that. We're working with the DEA to get the property.
I'm sure that, right? They have a plan, I know. It's just crazy. I mean, it's like.
Chief, what's
Proper
the,
disposal.
the bell jumping? That's up quite a bit.
That's
Yeah,
the
pretty-
municipal court.
It's
That's
been pretty regular.
it's
It's a data dump.
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically some months it's up and some months it's down, depending on when she has time to enter the computer.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Hey, aren't you supposed to say Movember's over?
I'll get you offline on that too.
All right, EMS.
I'll give a quick EMS update. So EMS is losing their condo in about 5.5 months. So we're running 2 parallel fixes. One is we put out last couple weeks ago, we put out an RFP to find a new condo, house, home for them. But at the same time, we're also going to run through FEMA bringing in a 4-bedroom, double wide, and finding a location. So to do that, we would probably have to approve it at council no later than February, so that we have. We just started talking to like Palm Harbors and some of these manufacturers about making sure we can find one in stock that meets. The biggest thing is it's a win category 2, which most of the units, probably 95% of them, are win category 1. So there's not a whole lot of units around that can be out on the island. So that's the first hurdle. We think we can find one. The second part would be we would put out an RFP probably early in the first week of January, put out an RFP for that and run both of those ideas at the same time. Because the RFP for the house, condo, apartment isn't going to close until late January, but we can't risk losing a month on the other idea. So we're going to run those both at the same time.
Where would you put the double wide?
The double wide, well, we're looking at city property that already has water and sewer, and that's only a couple spots. So we're very limited. But it does fall under the FEMA, our FEMA program for reimbursement.
Would that be on 9th Street?
Yes, sir. That's one spot. We would have to be careful. We wouldn't want to spot it where it would be either at the new Public Works building or the new fire EMS. But right in the middle of that property is a potential. We think we have water and sewer there.
Okay.
So that's one potential spot. Right here across the street, the former Parks and Rec location, that's another spot. So we know we have 2 in hand. We're looking for a couple more.
Yeah, I would just hate to lose the lights and the sirens going by the house. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Of course.
Hey, Dave, I'm so sorry.
We would purchase if we go that route, we would purchase a double wide, a 4-bedroom double wide.
So it could be used in the future for.
Yeah, then,
like, Parks and Recs
and then
or-
FEMA makes the determination of whether they want it back or not. But usually they just,
By the time they get it back, it's not worth anything, so they don't want it
yeah,
back.
so it depends on whether you do a lease or just a purchase.
Is there not space where the gas department building is? I mean, kind of in and around?
That's another space we're looking
Okay.
at. We're looking at either fronting it like on
Right.
6th Street, because we own
Right.
6th, so we need to do a little bit more investigation over there with water and sewer.
Because I mean, then that way they can kind of be where
Yeah,
Hey, Dave,
yes.
I'm sorry. I got kicked out of the meeting and then I came back in, so I missed everything that you said. Is the property that I was by Coffee Waves, did they ever fill
Yeah,
out?
well, we won't know, Beth, because that's not due until the 14th of January.
Okay. The only thing that I worry about, especially like with EMS, because they do on call with a double wide. I mean, it's such a small, confined area. I don't know if that, because EMS, and tell me if I'm wrong, they take like more like 24-hour shifts. It's not like some may be needing to sleep while some are awake and everything, and having a double wide, I can't even imagine how our EMS.
Yeah, but we could find a double wide that's as big as the condo that they're in right now.
Okay. And then
Yeah,
the other side,
it's got to be sized correctly.
if the other, obviously if the other place works out, but then the other thought is how close is the golf course, on the land that the mechanical, or is that too far out? If we try
I think that's probably too far out. That would really increase our response time.
Plus, didn't La Palmilla lease that back? So it's.
Yeah, that is being leased back,
So
so,
we don't, even if it is, we couldn't use it until that lease is up anyway.
yeah.
So it's kind of, honestly, it's.
So
not
we'll
started.
keep looking. We'll have more information here in about 3 weeks. We'll see how many, hopefully we'll get a response from people with homes and condos that already exist, and that's the easier route to go. We just need to see if we're going to get it.
When's the RFP due?
RFP's due January 14th. And that's it on EMS.
And just reading this report and it appears that Ed is actually the director now, or is he?
Oh, yes, and we'll bring Ed back and we'll give him an introduction,
I
sorry.
wondered about that too.
We'll bring him next month and do the intro thing.
So did McIntosh quit?
Where have you been, Bruce?
I really have been out. I've been, so Neil, what happened? I missed it.
Oh, I'm formulating. Give me a call.
Okay, anyway.
See, Cork's got a new mayor. We lost our EMS guy. Wow.
We done with EMS?
Hey, Mayor.
Yeah, we done with EMS?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see here. We've got minutes from the following city committees, boards and commissions. The Nature Preserve Technical Advisory Board, the Marine Advisory Board, and the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Do we need to go over those, Rick?
Not.
No.
Okay. Then we have Planning and Zoning Commission, its minutes.
No.
Okay. So we've done those. 12 city council comments.
Can I do one real quick, Mayor, before you guys start?
Sure.
Okay, so this is from Colleen with the Parks and Rec Department. So they are having a Santa in the park. So it's a COVID social distancing program that Colleen and her staff have been working really hard on. I saw the layout yesterday. It looks really good how they're going to manage moving people around, but keeping people separated and doing this Santa event. So it's tomorrow night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Roberts Point Park Main Pavilion. Bundle up, should be a cold one, but there'll be popcorn, hot cocoa, some holiday activities, music, and some stories. And bring a mask with you, and the parks people will guide you through the program, and it should be a good time. Hopefully we'll get some good weather. So that's Santa in the Park.
Nice.
Tomorrow night at Roberts Point Park, 6 to 9.
I will say I want to compliment the Colleen and her staff and city staff, anybody and everybody who's involved, because the Christmas lights look amazing.
It looks amazing.
They really
does.
And the park, last night or Tuesday night when I was going to Sinton on the ferry in the dark, it's beautiful when you go and come across the ferry because the park's all lit up. And it really stands out. You can see when you come across the ferry, how the park's all lit up. And then, of course, when you drive through town this time of year, when you don't see a single car for miles, it's really nice because all you can see are these big, bright Christmas lights, up and down the street.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and kudos to her and her staff. And if you get a chance, go to the, and I believe the times are 6, 7, and 8. Colleen, text me if I'm wrong, but they do like the Christmas tree lighting and music thing at the community center. And so you can go and do that. And I think that's going to run for, I think another week or so. Another week.
Christmas?
Yeah. The Christmas music, tree lighting on an hourly thing at 6, 7, and 8, or maybe it's 7, 8, 9. Is it dark at 6?
Yes,
Way
it is.
to go, Beth, for
Look at the paper. It's in the
pushing for
paper.
those Christmas decorations for so long, Beth.
Yeah.
We finally got them.
I know, that's what I am
Colleen.
super excited about the Christmas decorations. It looks so good. And the chamber pushing, businesses to do more of the Christmas lights on our, I think it looks so good. The boat parade was great. We're going to have fireworks on New Year's Eve. I think it's really good.
Yeah, get the word out on the fireworks. And I think we're looking at about a 7 o'clock shoot off on those. Is that correct, Beth?
Yes.
And Bruce?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah. And so music at the community center is 6, 7, 8, and 9 at the top of the hour. So that's pretty neat. Ken did a lot of programming on that and has done a lot of troubleshooting getting that thing going. So he's done a good job on that one too.
I love it. I can't wait. Every year is going to get better and better. It's really, really exciting.
And we needed this year, more than any year.
Yeah.
So seeing the Christmas lights and everything has just really been wonderful.
I know, I wish more people would do it even in their houses because it's just so nice.
It looks really good. We'll
And next year we'll expand. We'll get a little bit further down Allister. We just got to get some AEP. We got to work our contract with AEP and get more, the cords and get those things energized. So as we continue in the year, we'll definitely be expanding.
Yeah, all the lights.
But we're off to a good start.
Turtles and all kinds of things. So that's
Yes, they all look really, really good. Everything y'all picked out looked fabulous.
She did a really good job.
Okay, any other comments?
Good job. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Beth had
Christmas.
something.
Sorry.
No, I talked to Dave about that traffic light. That's the only thing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna recontact him again, Beth, on that.
What traffic light?
Well, the light over here at the marina doesn't have a protected left. It just turns green, and it doesn't say, if you want to turn left, it doesn't say yield. So you just want to just drive out in front of people.
Got it.
So they need to either do a protected left, or they need to get, that signage up there that says, green, yield to oncoming or whatever.
Sure.
Left, yield to, so.
Okay.
We'll get it fixed.
Any other items?
No.
Okay, item 13 is we'll adjourn.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
You too.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everyone.